want to become a world champion. This is my 5th year as a pro. This is what I need. This is what I want. This is the time to go. Solomon Dacres is, you know, the serious contender. Is this camera rolling?
Yeah, it is. Do you want me to?
Roll it.
Respond then. Respond if as if the camera wasn't rolling. What would you say if the camera wasn't rolling?
So leave me alone.
Lying fucking bastard. Anyway, here we
Predator.
are. Oh, you're calling me a predator? Somebody else called me that the other day. How wrong day. Anyway, we are here back in Birmingham with Birmingham's very own Solomon Dacres. Thank you very much for having me down the gym today, because you've invited me on a day that I really enjoy, which is sparring day.
It's no problem. Anytime, welcome anytime.
Leo Watang was just in here.
Yeah.
Get straight into business, because I know that you're on a tight schedule.
It's my belly rumbling, that's the schedule, man.
I know. You always like to feel that belly, don't you? Anyway, tight schedules. Leo Watang, young fighter, you, the experienced fighter. How did you find?
Now,
yeah, how did you find that with him?
Yeah, he's good, sharp, you know, good, sharp, young fighter, you know, the young, hungry, sharp, you know, strong, very, very good sparring, very sharp, you know, very good timing, really good quality rounds. It's really good for me, perfect preparation.
And I think he more or less said the same about you. He said you made him feel like really novice-y, because he just couldn't pin you down. Obviously, I saw what happened. I know how it went. But he was frustrated with himself, albeit a good spar. He said, it's so hard to hit.
Yeah. That's what we're in there working, you know, sparring. You know, we're working on things. You know, like I said, I'm a very good technical fighter. That's the one. The first thing you want to do is hit and not get hit. Not just give them an easy target, make them, you know, be able to hit you or whatever. If you're gonna with me, if you're gonna catch me, you're gonna earn it. You're gonna earn it. You know what I mean? You ain't gonna just catch me with anything willy nilly. Don't get me wrong. Sometimes you make mistakes. You know, you might walk into a shot, this and that. You know, you're working on it and sparring. But yeah, it's good. You know, you gotta think it's a thinking man's game in there. You know what I mean? And you know, he's sharp. You can see he's in there thinking. You know, we're both thinking, and sometimes, you know, like, you know, you got to be one step ahead. Sometimes I got to try and be 2 steps ahead of the game. You know what I mean? It's like a game of chess. You know, you go, I go, here you go again. You know, sort of thing. It's good sparring.
I'm looking forward to hopefully you two sparring again. Definitely, it's a shame like the viewers can't actually come down and watch the sparring, because it's so good to watch. You know, sometimes it's even better than the actual fights that we see on fight nights, because I don't know, there's something about the gym, there's something about sparring. It's like it's the real kitchen. It's like where you really see that food getting prepped. Yeah,
and I think, you know, sometimes in sparring you're learning, you can take more risks. You can take more risks sometimes in sparring, maybe where you're trying things out, and yeah, like you said, you're in the gym, you know, you don't want to make mistakes, but you got to make mistakes in there to learn. So sometimes it might be better for someone to watch a spar, because someone's going to make more mistakes maybe than on fight night. They're a bit tighter, a bit sharper, a little less risk.
You know what, that's a fair point, and I didn't really think about it like that. Maybe that's why people are more comfortable in sparring, and we get to see more of them, because they are literally that comfortable that they can push it a little bit further.
That's the case.
Why would you say then, on the flip side, why that's not a good mentality potentially to take him to the professional ring in front of everybody?
Yeah, there's got to be a balance, because you can't be, you know, all you know, on high alert all the time, and you're going to ring. It's boxing. There's an element of risk. So when you fight, you've got to take risks sometimes. You know, to you know, if I'm going to hit you, there's a risk that you're going to get hit back. You know what I mean? So you can't be too hesitant. You can't go in there and I'm going to get hit. I'm going to get hit. You got to take risks. You got to go for it. You know, you got to have some balls in it at the end of the day. But like sparring, sometimes you can take a little bit more risk. You know what I mean? To try things that you might not try in a fight. And yeah, you're working to get that fine balance of, I'm gonna push it. I'm also gonna be wary of what's coming back, but I'm also gonna, you know, push it and that, you know, and take the risk. In fact, you know, it's a complicated game.
You know what, I like that though, and it's good to learn, because you don't realise all of these intricacies of the sport. Like I said, I'm privileged because I get to come in and see that, but not everybody does. They just see what happens on fight night, and I can put my hand on my heart and honestly say that Leo was surprised by you, because he was like, I couldn't hit him, and it was almost like I couldn't get to hit him how I want to. I couldn't catch him, and it's almost like he didn't see what you're actually capable of until you're in there.
That's what a lot of people don't understand in boxing, is that until you get in there with someone, you don't know what they're like. You don't know how hard it is to hit someone. You don't know how sharp they're going to hit you. You can only know by getting in there. You know, that's why sometimes you get a lot of fighters where they don't look great in fights, but they're victorious. You know, and it's something in there. You know, they might have a certain timing, distancing, you know, the accuracy and things that you can't quantify these things. You can't just say, he's stronger, he's faster. They might have timing, they might have just a bit more calculated edge to get the shots off that you don't know. They might have a little bit better distancing. These little things. That's how I see it. I calculate all these things and try and implement everything. Some fighters don't. They just want to go forward, fucking, let me try to hit you as much as I can. But more time than that, you know, they're not the ones that are at the top of the game. Or they burn very bright in their career and they pay the price afterwards.
One of the things that I will say as well, like you're very laid back, as in just laid back gentleman. That's what you like anyway. And like I said, it kind of ruins it, because today I saw a lot of spite, venom, viciousness, aggressiveness. Often some of the stuff that I've been screaming that I get to see off you on fight night, and it's frustrating because I know what you can do because I've seen it, and then it's like, why does that not just like translate onto fight night? You've got a big fight coming up next with a heavy puncher. We're going to get into that, but how are you going to pull that out of the sparring and show that on fight night?
It's when you've got a live opponent in front of you. Like, look at my last one with that Serenko. He was coming to me and I hit him with a lot more shots than I'm hitting some of these other guys that they're not as competitive. Sometimes when they're more competitive, they're trying to actually beat you. You get more success because, you know, they're fighting back a bit better. Like, you get journeyman and that or whatever. They might try to get a few shots back or whatever. When someone's really trying to win, that's when you're like, right, you're trying to take something off me. You know, you got more to work off in it, which I think I thrive more when there's a better opponent in front of me, which I think is the case.
Jared Anderson, don't blink.
Yeah.
I saw that. I heard rumours, and even though we get on, and even though it's like, what's happening, or you might, I don't know, slag me off on Instagram. I don't know, take the piss out of me.
I never do that.
But you're very secretive about what's happening. I did not know. I didn't hear it from you. I heard it from X that it was going to be yourself and Jared Anderson.
Yeah.
Why are you so secretive? I mean, I weren't going to leak the info.
I know you wouldn't, but that's just the way I am. I'm very personal about my business. You know, you know when you need to know, innit? Like, you know what I mean? And I'm someone that till something's done, you know what I mean? It's confirmed. You know what I mean? I don't like to put things out there until it's done and sign, seal, deliver sort of thing. You know what I mean? So, till the time's right, you know, no, you don't need to know.
Jared Anderson, I've been saying to you, because obviously the opponents that you boxed, not necessarily everyone knows them. Sometimes we would have to go away. Let's have a look at him.
Yeah.
Okay, so we know his record, but we're not going to get to watch all of his fights and see what he's about. Jared Anderson, on the other hand, he's been out there. We know who he is. This is a name, and this is something that, you know, fans, people like myself, have been crying out for you to have a fight
that's
like
what
that.
I need. That's what I need. Someone that's not just like my last one, undefeated European fighter, good fighter, but no one's heard of him. 23-0. This is someone that the wins are gonna take my name into that next level. That's what I need. Something that's gonna take me more into the publicity side of things, to elevate my name. Not just the boxing skill, how good you are, elevate my name on the platform.
I totally agree with you, and the thing is, it's a little bit of a cheat code because he's not a British fighter, he's American.
Yeah.
You know, so I think that's even greater publicity for yourself.
Global, innit?
Absolutely. Talk to me about Jared Anderson and his fight. I always thought that Martin Bacoli was going to beat him, by the way. I just did, because I watched what he did to Tony Yoka. And I thought if he comes in like that, we're going to have the same story. No disrespect to Jared, because he's powerful, he's young, he's athletic. But what do you see when you look at Jared Anderson? I don't want you to be honest.
Yeah, he's a good sharp fighter. Don't get me wrong, he's a good sharp fighter, a good boxer. He's sharp, you know. Obviously, he's sharp. He's got good skill set, good timing, good accuracy. But on the flip side, there's also, look at the Bacoli fight. There's vulnerabilities there that we're gonna try and expose. I ain't gonna say, to be honest, I ain't gonna say too much on it. But we know what we're looking at. We know what we're looking at in this game, and Solomon Dacres is confident in that ring.
A good card to be on as well.
Yeah,
the fact that it's in Manchester, local for both of us as well.
Yeah.
An undercard, I don't know where you're going to be on the card, if it's going to be co-main, whatever it is.
I think it's co-main, to be fair. It's co-main, isn't it? Yeah, it is.
So when you talk about getting through that fight, we like to be positive. If I spoke to Jared Anderson, I'd ask him the same thing. Getting through that fight, what will that mean to you?
It puts my name up there in the world rankings, don't it? And it gives me that bit of, reputability on my name. Like Solomon Dacres is, serious contender. Serious contender, you got to say it, and I'll be a serious contender after that win, and put some name into big fights there, whatever, you know what I mean? That's where I want to be now. This is my 5th year as a pro. Now is the time to make my mark on. I want to become a world champion. What am I going to do? Hang around forever fighting? This is what I need. This is what I want. This is the time to go. If I want to elevate myself, this is what I want to do, and this is the time to do it.
You've been written off time. Well, to be fair, you was written off after, I'd say, the David Adelaide fight.
All right, bro. Nice one. Appreciate it.
I ain't going to be long. What time do you train? No, wait. 2 minutes. You.
Respect.
He's a tosser.
Nice one. Take it. I'll message you later.
Bye.
Respect, man.
That shadow that's sort of like on you from that fight, and even your manager that's just walked out there, he told me that the odds for you to beat Serenko was something like 11-2 or whatever
there
it is.
Some mad odds, and a lot
Crazy.
of people got some good money on that fight. Betting on the fight, they got some good money. I feel a lot of people message me after that saying, "Yo, thanks, man. I made some good money on that." Because the odds is that steep. But just shows that the publicity or the public perception of things in boxing is different than the reality of really boxing. To be honest, like I said, if I was a fighter outside looking in at me. One defeat in the first round, someone that got clipped on the top of the head, took out got clipped on the head, lost his fucking equilibrium. I was up really after 5-6 seconds, but it's one of them. Ref waved it off. I'd look at that. There was no boxing to analyse from that fight. That's your one blip. If that was me fighting that opponent, I'd say, right, what can I take from that? I can't go in thinking that's going to happen again, because that was just a bit of a one-off situation. You got hit on the top of the head. You can't go banking in a game plan. I'm going to hit him on the top of the head and whoop, something like that, when it's never happened to him before. But boxing fans to see it, first round defeat, he's going to get knocked out in the first round again. It's like, be real, and you got to be real about what's really happening. And but it's worked in my favour, because it might have helped me get the fight I got last time. Undefeated guy, they probably thought they was going to walk over me on a big card, done the job. And again, Jared Anderson, maybe they overlooking, thinking that that's something to take me on, like it's going to be some easy fight, and they're going to have a real rude awakening when it comes to that ring.
I'm looking forward to it. I am looking forward to it. I think it's a good fight, and I think. And now this is the fickle side of me. This is the boxing fan side of me. I think it's a good fight because it's a name.
Yeah.
This is your brand fight. Mm-hmm. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. But sometimes, you're old school. You're very, very traditional in your thoughts on boxing. You're very regimented, and I get that. It's just the way you are.
Yeah.
But boxing just doesn't work like that. It's like it's a celebrity thing. It's it's a Big Brother thing, and it's who's the loudest, who can create the most noise, and it's not necessarily attached to the work that you do.
Yeah, that's true. It's true, but ultimately, to me, that's what it comes down to, and that's what's gonna matter come fight night. I seen a thing of Canelo when he said, "What I say to young fighters: focus on the boxing, the money, the fame, everything else. Don't think about that. Focus on your boxing, and when you get there, that will come. Don't think about chasing fame, chasing that." He goes, "You're boxing. Think about trying to become a world champion. Think about training hard and everything. The rest of it will come." And that's come from Canelo, the biggest name out there.
I agree with that, but we're looking at errors, and we're looking at times are changing, and Canelo's been around for a minute.
It's also easy to say that when you're there, isn't it?
But he's been a pro since he was 15, and he wasn't out, all respect to him, in the social media era.
Yeah, true,
Everything
true,
now,
true,
you can't even walk down the street without tripping over and it's getting filmed. Oh my God, he's yawning again.
Yo, man.
Am I keeping you up?
No, man, it's just dad life, isn't it, man? You got a little baby at home. Sleep is a commodity.
Different eras.
Yeah.
So when Canelo was out, there wasn't that social media
true,
wave.
true,
Fair enough, social media has helped him later on in his career as well, and he's a fantastic fighter.
Yeah.
But if you look at it, if you didn't have social media, then it would be the newspapers, it would be the radios that's talking about you. Now, it's a camera on you every second of the day. So how do you then compete with that?
Yeah. Just gotta, you know what I mean? You gotta.
You fight names.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, and that's what this fight is gonna do for me. Hopefully, put my name out there more than, like I said, the unknown names or whatever. That's what I need. This is what I need.
The head of the card, and I will probably close down from here. The head of the card is Daniel Dubois. Fabio Wardley versus Daniel Dubois. Fabio is the world champion.
Yeah, true.
You've sparred both of them. Maybe Fabio not so much, but more with
I've
Daniel.
done a lot with Daniel. A lot of sparring with Daniel recently as well. Like I sparred him last week. You know, I've been sparring last few weeks. Good fight that is.
How is it a good? Right, okay. I'm going to play devil's advocate because I do. Because I'm a fan. I've got a little bit of knowledge, but nowhere near as much as you have. I went on to radio the other day and I was asked my prediction. And my prediction was based on psychology, not skill.
Yeah.
Because I look at the fighter's mindset. It's just the way I'm wired. So what would you say to counteract what I've said as the boxing pugilist?
That, you know, it does obviously come down to skill to a certain level. If you can't get past someone's jab, if you haven't got the skill set to get onto them and draw them into a dogfight, then you can't get into who's going to dig deep at. You know, you've got to draw that out of someone. Sometimes the psychology thing is you've got to hit them hard, you've got to get to them. If there's a big skill differential and you can't get to someone, you can't bring that out of them. If there's a differential, but I'm not saying there's a massive differential, but I feel like Dubois got the better boxing ability, boxing brain. You know, we've seen Dubois is a heavy hitter, very heavy hitter. Wardley also carries good power, and he has been shown to dig deep at times and up against it more. So it's interesting if, you know, look at his last two wins. Fabio, he's pulled it out when he's been up down on the cards, and he's pulled it out of the bag. So that's where you can't write someone off. In my boxing brain, I look at it and see Dubois got the edge in the skill set. He's got the power to hurt him. And he's, to be fair, he's got more experience as well. But on the flip side, you know, Wardley hasn't tasted that defeat yet. Daniel's tasted defeat. He's tasted it. You know, he's been stopped. Wardley hasn't had that. So in your head, you know, do you think, you know, when it's getting tough, you get hit with a few shots? You know, it depends. It depends. Like you say, like it's an interesting call. I don't like, you know, people ask me for predictions. I hate predicting heavyweight fights because they're so unpredictable. I can't tell you this man's going to beat this man. I can tell you I think he's a better boxer.
The stylistic
he should have more success against him. But when it comes into that ring, only on fight night, only God only knows what's going to happen.
Well, I spoke to Fraser Clark a couple of weeks ago, and he believes that you're going to beat Jared Anderson quite comfortably.
Yeah.
He goes in against Justice Honey, which I nearly fell on the floor when I saw that fight announced, because I got worried, because I know Justice is quick and he's got very fast hands.
Quick.
Your analysis on that, not picking a side, just the fight analysis.
Quick fighter, Hooney. Fraser Clark, he's a good boxer. He's good in the early rounds. What Fraser will know what he needs to do. He'll know he needs to put those 10 rounds together better. He'll know that. He'll have a game plan. He knows he needs to be on it for the 10 rounds. Hooney's, he's a sharp fighter. He's going to be up against. It's probably going to be more chess match than you think. it's going to be more, probably twitchy, fighting, jabbing, trying to see. I think it's going to be, trying to get early rounds. I think it's going to be a bit more like, trying to get a bit of a chess match, try and get established the jab and things like that. And then it could open up. Hooney might come out a bit sharper. But you don't know with Hooney because look how he was dominating Wardley and he got caught. You don't know how his mind's going to react. That might just be nothing to him. Strong mentality, I got caught, whatever. Or he might be, I can't go ahead like I'm going before because if I get caught, I'm going to get chinned. It depends on the mindset of him after that. So that's where it makes it different on the mindset sort of thing. Some people, it might just brush it off, might be nothing, but some people, it might be in the back of their mind. I'm going forward aggressive and I got hit with a big backhand and the fight was over. You might be thinking, I can't let that happen again. So you gotta see, but credit Fraser's got, bouncing back off a loss of TKV, and he's going into a bigger and harder fight, really. So he's knowing his time is now. It's now or never sort of thing for him. So so it is.
How can we get tickets? How can we support you for your fight that's coming up in what did you say? It's 5 weeks.
5 weeks on Saturday coming. So. I'll have tickets available, on the Instagram. Message me, Solomon Dacres. Message me for tickets. Anyone that needs them. Anyone wants to sponsor, big shout. There's still got space on the shorts for sponsors. We've got a few sponsors coming, but there's still a bit of space. So any sponsorship, message me for inquiries. If anyone's listening that is that way inclined, wants to get your logo on that big fight card, co-main event. You want to see your company name there, right?
Broadcast on DAZN.
On DAZN, hit me up. And other than that, just support me, stay tuned, and get ready for fight night.
Ladies and gentlemen, the one and only Solomon Dacres.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.